Now at 6, we have scattered strong storms with heavy rainfall moving back into the area. I'll have the details.
Joplin High School students look ahead to the Skills USA competition and all aboard Tiger Airlines. Some Carthage students take a trip to Japan without leaving home.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Scattered thunderstorms roll through parts of the 4 states, bringing the possibility of flooding. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us with a first look at the weather.
Thank you very much, Dow. Yeah, we've been seeing those rounds of showers and storms moving across our area earlier today. In fact, producing some hail in Miami, which covered the ground, half dollar size hail there. Those storms have now moved away, but now we have more storms developing again across the area with rumbles of thunder and heavy rainfall. But the really nasty stuff is down to the south and southeastern Oklahoma, where a tornado watch is in effect. In fact, tornado warnings for McCurtain County and southern LaFleur County. Severe thunderstorm warnings down for those folks. All that rain, though, is going to be moving up towards our area with the possibility of some hail, like we saw earlier today, even here at the station. Temperatures are going to be in the 40s, dropping down into the upper 30s by tomorrow morning. And that means we could see a winter mix by tomorrow morning after the heavy rain tonight. But at least we have the weekend to look forward to, as it looks pretty nice. I'll have all the details coming up in that in your forecast, so stay with us.
See you soon. Police in Noel, Missouri believe they've identified a man who shot a dog with an arrow, and now they're trying to find him. That man is Jeffrey Howard. The Noel Marshal's office has a warrant for his arrest for the charge of animal abuse. The dog was found on February 23rd. A local rescue group brought the dog and her puppies to a veterinarian. The arrow was removed and the dog is now recovering. Pittsburgh High School is mourning the death of a student today in a Cherokee County crash. That 2-car crash claimed the life of 18-year-old Josiah Fletcher of Pittsburgh around 8 this morning. According to the Kansas State Highway Patrol, Fletcher was going east on K-171 near Northeast 90th Street, made a U-turn and was hit by a semi. Fletcher died at the scene. Pittsburgh High School principal Colin Harrett sent a message to the families of students this morning informing them of the crash and said additional counselors and student support staff are available for students. A state competition for Joplin High School Franklin Technology students is coming up. They're going to be showing off their skills in trade, technical, and other service occupations. KOAM's Yana Hautala met one female competitor breaking into a usually male-dominated field.
Job fairs and competitions. 2 things educators hope will get students ready for work after graduation. One upcoming event for Franklin Tech students is the Skills USA State Competition.
We have been trying to get more student interest in this in the past few years, and so we're all very excited that they are wanting to take part in it and be involved and step out of their comfort zone.
One competitor is Hope Oakley. She fell in love with welding in 8th grade. Now she's making her way to that dream job after high school graduation.
You graduate with a certification or with experience or with knowledge that you need to know in order to get a job.
Oakley was one of the 2 women competing at district. Wishing there were more girls trying it, she says it's empowering to represent women in the industry.
It's a lot of lifting, but I do think there should be more women welders because welding requires attention to detail.
Advisor Anderson says local businesses have shown interest in trade students with skills and drive.
It's a huge need right now, especially there's the skills gap. We have so many different jobs that are open and not enough people to fill those. So that's what we're trying to do at Franklin Tech, is get those students prepared. If they go on to a college program, that's great, but they're also prepared to go straight into the industry or do a little bit further training so that they can go straight into their job.
Sitting there and you're just like in your zone and you're just watching that puddle like smooth over, it's really just, and then at the end of the day, being able to see what you finished rather than just knowing what you finished, it's a satisfying feeling.
In Joplin, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
33 students from the Technology Center will attend the Skills USA State Leadership and Skilled Conference. It's in Lynn, Missouri at the end of March. Some students in Carthage took a flight to Japan today, sort of. They never actually left the ground or went to an actual airport, but they did a simulated experience. The Fairview Elementary students did everything from going through security to checking in their luggage and then finding their seats. It's all part of a lesson they're learning on Japan and its culture. And as part of the lesson, the students also learned how to use chopsticks.
I like seeing people doing the chopsticks. It was kind of interesting because it was interesting because how they moved it without it crossing.
Kids also got to enjoy some in-flight snacks, maybe with their chopsticks. Freeman Health System introduced a very special guest to kids at the Freeman Learning Center. This guy, the Cat in the Hat himself, paid a visit for the Freeman Cat in the Hat reading event. So along with the Cat in the Hat, Paula Baker, Steve Grady, Dr. Adam Fahrenholtz, they all read their favorite Dr. Seuss classics to a room full of Freeman Learning Center students. Kids also had the chance to pose for pictures with the Cat in the Hat and enjoy snacks and drinks.
We want to encourage all children in the love of reading. So by reading, have to learn to read. That's something they can enjoy for a lifetime.
The event is organized by Freeman Health System and Ozarks Public Television to help promote reading skills. The Bourbon County, Kansas Arts Council is presenting its 31st annual Fine Arts exhibit. It opened today at the Danny and Willa Ellis Family Fine Arts Center. It runs until the 11th. More than 20 local artists entered their art for the exhibit. Other artists participating come from Missouri, Oklahoma, and Texas. This year's theme is Doors and Windows. Art ranges from ceramics to glasswork, photography to sculptures.
Love the arts, and I like to experience the arts. I'm a wannabe, you know. I want to tap into the creativity, you know. I hope I have some somewhere, but just seeing what comes out of other people, if you look around, it's amazing to me.
Admission to the exhibit is free of charge. It's open on weekdays from noon to 7 p.m. and on Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Coming up, a shooting in an Oklahoma City warehouse leaves one person dead. We'll have details. Plus, a Springfield home security expert offers tips to make your home more safe and prevent intruders. Southeast Kansas man is sentenced for Medicaid fraud. William Carl Morris II of Altamont was sentenced on one count of submitting a false claim. He's ordered to repay the Medicaid program more than $1,200 after pleading guilty. Investigators determined that Morris submitted false claims that he was providing personal care attendant services to his mother, a Medicaid beneficiary. Morris gave dates when he allegedly provided the services, but investigators, they determined his mother was in fact in another city at that time. A manager at a Hobby Lobby distribution center in Oklahoma City was shot to death yesterday. The man suspected of killing him died hours later, apparently in a crash along Highway 33 near Kingfisher. According to police, the suspect left the scene and led police on a chase 2 counties away. They say it started during an altercation with 32-year-old Dominique Thompson, pulled out a gun, shooting his boss, 69-year-old Douglas Smith, at least once. Authorities are not sure what caused Thompson to shoot his boss. 2 men are charged with breaking into the home of an elderly couple in Springfield and attacking and robbing them. Both suspects are jailed without bond. Michael Hoffman reports on how senior adults can protect themselves and their homes in a simple way.
Be proactive instead of reactive.
Brian has been in the home security business for close to 10 years now. He says there are high-tech devices out there for those of us who aren't tech-savvy. He says they're as easy as putting on a bracelet.
A great thing that we have, especially for elderly clients or customers, we have a little device that's called it's a panic button is what it is. They can keep it on their person, whether it's with a lanyard, it also comes with a bracelet, or it comes with just a clip they can clip on their pants or their belt, or they can even stick it in their pocket if they needed to. But they can actually press and hold that button when they're in duress.
Paige Rippey with the Greene County Sheriff's Office says the first step is to be situationally aware.
Pay attention to your neighborhood. Pay attention to who's driving around, who's driving past your house. I'm not saying you have to sit outside your house all day long and just see what's going on, but just be vigilant, pay attention.
Blankenship says if you are willing to pay for a security system but don't know where to start, ask the pros for help installing.
You have a professional installation, which means the installation is done the correct way.
Deputy Rippey says if you do have elderly neighbors, make sure to introduce yourself in case something does happen.
If you do have one of those neighbors that's elderly, check on them. You know, maybe introduce yourself to them and say, hey, I live here, you know, I do this or whichever. Here's my phone number in case something happens.
At the end of the day, the best way to protect yourself is to do it before something happens.
It's so important so that something like this can be prevented.
Say it's also a great idea to have something as simple as a motion sensor light in the driveway, or even a loud dog that barks when someone's at the door. Brian also added that even having something like a peephole or a window next to the front door is extremely important to make sure you can see who's there before you open that door. A little bit later, the Missouri Southern Lions girls basketball team prepares to face Pitt State in the MIAA quarterfinals. We'll hear from them in sports.
And we're taking a look at the radar to let you know how much rain we can expect and also what the threat of severe weather is going to be. I'll have that when we come back. Well, we've had some rounds of thunderstorms this afternoon, producing some hail in many locations. In fact, covering the ground in some spots. Right now, though, in Seneca, Missouri, the Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, cloudy skies, a few scattered showers around the area. And as I mentioned, we had those storms earlier today. Temperatures 53 was the high, starting out at 38, which was close to the normals of 55 and 33. And so far, we've not been anywhere close to those records, thank goodness. All right, let's take a look at the radar right now. You can see scattered showers and storms starting to move back into our area. Heavier rain down to the south. Flood watch is in effect here in the green, which would be for southwestern Missouri, Delaware County in Oklahoma, and Benton County down in Arkansas. But look at the really nasty stuff down in southeastern Oklahoma. Severe thunderstorm warnings there. Tornado warnings in effect for McCurtain County. Also some more storms developing near Denison and Sherman up towards Ada. And then also a big area of rain in Oklahoma City. And all of this is advancing to the north and east. But by the time it gets up here, the severe weather threat will be decreasing, but we will have the heavy rainfall. And we need the rainfall, especially in southeastern Kansas, where the new drought tracker map came out today. You can still see exceptional drought in Elk and Chautauqua counties. Still dry across a large part of southeastern Kansas, but I think we're going to put a significant dent in that drought situation over the next 24 to 36 hours. Temperatures right now are generally in the 40s and 50s, especially down to the south where it's 56 in Jay, 49 up in Yates Center. And we're about 10 degrees colder tonight than we were 24 hours ago. And dew points are increasing as well. You can see a 50-degree dew point there at Jay, but it's still kind of dry up at Yates Center where their current dew point sitting at 32 degrees. In Joplin with rain and thunderstorms, it's 46 degrees. It feels like 41. That's because of the northeast wind at 12. Humidity is 89%. And in Pittsburgh, you can see the wind really flying there on the flag with temperature around 45 degrees. Feels like 41, so it's a cold, chilly rain out there. East-northeast wind at 8 and the humidity at 83%. The severe weather tonight is going to be down to the south. In northern Texas, up into southwestern Arkansas, there is a marginal risk of 1 or 2 storms maybe becoming severe here with some hail. And the main threat is going to be the heavy rainfall. There is a moderate risk of some large hail, but the tornado threat and the high wind threat with this system is fortunately on the low side. Rain chances are going to be high all evening long, including into the morning hours where we could see a mixture with some snow possible with the rain tomorrow morning with temperatures in the 30s. And then as we go through the day, that system will move out and then we'll see northwesterly winds with temperatures in the 40s and lower 50s. And then as we go through the forecast, we're going to see temperatures dropping into the 30s by Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon looks great though with temperatures in the mid to upper 50s, even 60 down to the south. And then Sunday morning temperatures in the 30s and 40s once again. Rainfall amounts again, heaviest down to the south and east where the flood watch is in effect, and then lighter amounts to the north and west. And we could see a dusting of some snow in some isolated spots, not expecting any travel problems with any mixture of snow tomorrow morning. Here's the next 7-day forecast. A great weekend after we get through today's alert day and tomorrow morning. And then chilly next week with temperatures remaining below normal for this time of year. So it's an interesting forecast to say the least, Al.
Well, for now, at least people need to be very aware in those low-lying areas.
That's exactly right. Watch out for those creeks and streams.
Thanks, Sam. Still ahead, it's semifinal night at the 3A Girls Sub-State Basketball Tournament in Girard. And the Missouri Southern women prepare to face rival Pitt State in the MIAA Tournament quarterfinals. We're going to hear from the Lions straight ahead.
The Missouri Southern men's basketball team hits the floor today in the quarterfinals of the MIAA tournament in Kansas City. And the Lions opened the tournament yesterday by beating Northeastern State 70-60 in the first round. Now tonight, Southern faces Central Oklahoma in the quarterfinals. The Lions swept the Broncos in the regular season. Tonight, though, it's UCO winning by 16, 76-60. Avery Taggart, nice day for Missouri Southern. He finishes with 26 points. In the women's bracket, we have a rivalry game tomorrow night in the quarterfinals in Kansas City. Missouri Southern faces Pittsburgh State, with the winner moving on to the tournament semifinals. The Lions hit the road to Kansas City earlier this afternoon. They are the 5 seed in the bracket. The Gorillas are the 4 seed. Missouri Southern dropped both regular season meetings with Pittsburgh State, falling by 8 in Joplin and by 10 in Pittsburgh. So this team is motivated to get this one Friday when it really counts.
Yeah, we've lost 2 during the regular season, and that's motivation. It should be motivation itself. But this one here is an important one. When you get into the postseason, like I mentioned earlier, you win, you keep advancing, you keep playing. You lose, you go home. So, it'd be nice to be able to get this win against Pitt in the conference tournament and hopefully continue to win a couple more games.
With 2 wins under your belt is got to, give Pitt a lot of confidence. So it definitely puts a bit of a chip on our shoulder, which I think is going to motivate our team, to kind of get in there and play hard.
Well, tonight is semifinal night at the girls 3A Sub-State Tournament in Girard. The Cherryville Chargers are the number 1 seed in the bracket and cruised by Baxter Springs in the first round on Monday. Cherryville faces another CNC team tonight in the semifinals, hitting the floor against Galena. That one is just getting started in Girard. The winner, by the way, plays for a sub-state title and a spot in the state tournament on Saturday. They're going to play the winner of this one in that game. Tournament host Girard faces CNC rival Frontenac in the semifinals. That game will begin at about 7:30. We will be there. We'll have highlights from the game right here tonight at 10. Now that's a look at sports. We're back with more news right after this.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. The Kansas Office of Broadband Development hosts an event in Pittsburgh to get the public's thoughts on their connection. Plus, the CDC reports a rise in cases of syphilis among babies. And the story of a Missouri father and daughter who now not only share a bond of blood, but also a kidney. Those stories and a lot more tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Seems KOAM has themselves a bit of a celebrity. Apparently, there's a specific line you have to say to get your foot in the door. Check this out.
In fact, it was damn near impossible for our newscasters around the country to believe it's March.
March, can you believe it?
March, can you believe that? March, can you believe that?
March, can you believe that? We're starting.
Yeah, as you can see, a clip of our very own Chris Warner was on Jimmy Kimmel last night. They had clips from about more than 20 local newscasts from around the nation.
Well, it is hard to believe that it's March.
Can you believe it's March 2nd? You can believe that it's spring approaching because the weather certainly confirms
That's right. The weather's reminding us that it is March with lots of rain moving in. And then some of that may switch over to some snow tomorrow morning with temperatures near freezing, and then more rain next week. And also a little bit on the chilly side. So enjoy the weekend because it looks like it's going to be pretty nice.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.